Hello guys and welcome to another speed build. We're doing an apartment this time, which I don't do super often, but I was having a lot of fun with. This one stays pretty similar to the original layout. I'm not super great at coming up with different layouts for apartments because of the windows. It's something I want to work on, but it's not something I do a lot. I actually don't, it's funny, I don't build a lot on apartments. I think I said this last time I did an apartment build on this channel. I don't build a lot in apartments. I have a tendency to do more sort of pseudo rags to riches in apartments, so a lot of times I do a lot of redecorating over and over again, but I don't do full builds very often. And this one definitely went through a few iterations. It was kind of an off-the-cuff, like on a whim build. I was just like, I feel like building an apartment, and it was one of those days where like work was kind of broken up because I was like had hours scheduled, and like we set our own hours when things aren't too crazy busy, and then that like you just have to make it to like active hours and your meetings and stuff. And so it was one of those where I was like, set my active hours, or I had done like my scheduled shift early, but then I had late meetings and stuff, so it was kind of in between. I was like, I'm just gonna build an apartment. That was way more context than you needed. But so I just kind of like over the course of like 2 or 3 days, I think, got built, and you can see I'm taking a couple breaks here, which I thought I had caught most of them, but it's so hard to tell when it's all sped up. Because like I had, my work stuff all open, like paying attention, to stuff going on, because technically, like when you're getting ready to go into a meeting, you don't want to like miss major stuff. And everything, like I work remote, so everything's on Slack. So like oftentimes I'll be building and like my phone will go off and there'll be a Slack message. I'm like, I have to check this, and then I forget to pause the recording. Because I try to always answer Slack messages during the week, unless it's like super late or super early or something like that. Again, more context than you need. And I'm sitting here on a Saturday talking about work. Oh my goodness. But anyways, the funny thing about this build though is that because it got built over a couple of days with really like meetings and stuff, sort of in this sort of weird flex time where you're like not really off work, but you've already put like your 8 or 9 in, and so you're kind of like, you need to walk away. Because I don't know about y'all, but like when I'm programming, which is my job, I'm a software engineer, I can do a full day's worth of work, no problem. But if I've sat at the computer for more than like 10-ish hours, I'm done. Like my brain won't program anymore. It's done. I forget how to write things. Syntax just dies. My ability to speak the English language is gone. I love being in like the computer science realm, but my brain was not built for long-term computing. I can't sit at a computer all day. Anyways, distracted again. Point I was trying to make was, because this got built in sort of that weird flex space, I forgot about it. It's actually been sitting on my hard drive for a while, just the raw footage. And then I found it about a month ago, and I was like, well, no, it wouldn't have been a month ago. The time has no meaning in the pandemic anymore. But I found it, and I was like, oh, I forgot I built this. So I went and took some pictures, and then I wrote photos next to it, because I have a Trello board, like a Kanban board. Because again, software engineer, everything comes back to Kanban. But anyways, so I have a Kanban board, so I wrote it down. Like I wrote down that I had this build in the film column, and then it occurred to me, I was like, I think this build is done. So I went back in and checked on it. I was like, yeah. So I went and got the photos for it for the end, like the screenshots. So it got moved to the photos column. But for some reason, my brain kept being like, I can't do this one now. I need to go get better photos. So it sat and languished for a really long time again too. So long story short, this was the build that absolutely happened and then almost didn't end up on the channel because I kept forgetting about it. And it actually is pretty cute. It's definitely different than what I normally do, but I've been trying to branch out and try to use stuff that I don't usually use, especially with this apartment. I was trying to capture the vibes that I remember The Sims were having when it first came out, sort of that like, I don't even know what you would call it, like kind of mid-century but like contemporary. You know what I'm talking about, that very bright colored sort of plasticine looking plasticine. Now that I've said that, I don't think I'm as confident in that word as I thought I would be. Plasticky, we'll go with looking. And oh goodness, it jumps around. But anyway, so I was trying to capture that sort of nostalgic look, and I'm not sure if this exactly does it, but I think it's pretty close. I used a lot of the base game stuff. I used a lot of that sort of like space age, modern kind of thing that they're going for. Ignore me too with these shelves. I believe I end up taking them all down because, oh, maybe I don't. I do put stuff up here, but I think I end up just using 9 Control 9 and Control 0, which if you aren't aware, I'm sure you all are, because at this point I think everyone says it every video, but if you were not aware, when you're building, as long as you have bb.moveObjects on, which is a cheat, you can access it by getting, Control-Shift-C, you hit the little console, and then you type in move objects, all one thing, and that'll turn it on or off if you already have it on, but it'll turn it on. And then you can use Control 9 and Control 0 to raise and lower by a little increment there. It also allows you to do things like place things in other things, which can be kind of dangerous, so you gotta watch and make sure. That's why you have to player test a lot more when Move Objects is on. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I use it a lot. You actually probably see the console pop up quite a bit in my videos, because every time I log in, I almost never build in one session. Like, I never get a full thing built in one session. So you see that console pop up quite a bit, because I'll start building and go, oh, that's right, and then I have to turn it back on. What was I saying? I'm so distracted. Oh my goodness. So I've been trying with different styles. That's what I was saying. And this one I was trying to kind of capture that old school nostalgia of like early Sims 4. But I've been trying a lot of different things, like industrial and really going cottagecore, which if you had asked me like a while ago, I like farmhouse, but I'm not a huge cottagecore person. Like the sort of like saccharine sweet, like lace and polka dot. It's cute, but it's not always my thing. But I've kind of like, since cottage living came out and I got cottage living, which I was so excited about, my little birthday gift to myself, my splurge, I have been getting really into cottagecore builds. In fact, you'll see a couple, they're either up, I don't know what order these are going in, or they are about to go up on the channel, and I've really been enjoying it. But it's not like, I always build like farmhousey, but I don't always build like super sweet like cottagecore, and so that's been really fun. Been doing a lot of sort of industrial stuff, trying to do this like kind of interesting IKEA modern is what I call it, which is not, but it kind of is, but you know what I'm talking about. Trying to branch out is the long and the short of it, and having a lot of fun with it. It's also made for some really weird builds, not gonna lie, but there's been a few, like there's gonna be one going up, it's still being filmed, so it's not going to go up before this one. It's like this adorable little cottage on the outside and weirdly industrial on the inside, and I know it's weird, but I like it enough. I'm like, you know what? It'll inspire someone to fix it. That's the point. I just love building like weird whatever comes into my head in The Sims, because it's hard sometimes, because I definitely get in my head where I'm like, this has to be good to go up on the channel. But you know, I don't think anyone really cares. I'm not that you don't care what I'm building, but I mean, I don't think you guys necessarily care if I build something weird, because maybe you don't like the way I built it specifically, but like it could inspire you. That's what I like watching why I like watching so many different Sims YouTubers, because sometimes they'll build something and I'm like, that is not how I would have done it. But that's the exciting part, right? Is now I can go in and build something similar, maybe, and do it the way I would want to do it, or you know, build something inspired by, or just go in and be like, this is what I would do given the parameters of that challenge, or something like that. That's what I love about The Sims, is it's very inspiring. That was, again, a total rant. Can you tell I haven't done a voiceover in a while? I'm just excited to talk to y'all. I was sitting here right before I started the recording, because I watched the video back, like I'm actively watching it with you, I can see stuff happening. And then I have a voice recording software. And so, like, I was sitting here beforehand, I was checking all the stats, because I have a few of these to do today, because once again, I let them build up, because I am a mess of a human. And I was like, oh man, these are all not long, but long enough that I'm not going to be able to talk for the whole time. And every time I say that, I then shock myself and talk for the entire time. And by the end of it, I have a very sore throat, and I'm very proud of myself. And then I look back and I'm like, why do I stress about this every time? And also, why do I leave myself a whole batch every time to do silliness? But honestly, I do it because there's not always a great time to do it during the week, so I have to wait till the weekend. Because I'm just, I lately especially, I get like maybe 20-30 minutes at a time. Like, I don't have time to sit and like long build or chat or get my audio equipment set up to record. Yeah, just craziness. Gotta love this time of year, harvest season on a farm. But here are the screenshots. I like how this one turned out. It's kind of weird, and it's maybe not what I would do in an apartment myself necessarily, although I freaking love that backsplash. I think it's really cute, and I think to make a sim to live here, and I want to play in this apartment. I think it's very cute but functional. It is kind of dark in the screenshots. It's not that dark in the game. I'm not sure why the screenshots came out that way, and when I tried to bump the exposure, like the highlights up, it blew it out really bad. It's not that bad in the game. It's fine to play in the game. should be going up on the gallery. I actually was able to get the gallery to like start the other day, so I'm in the process of making a list and organizing so that things can actually go up. But yeah, I'm excited to be moving and grooving on this one. This one was cute, like I said, out of the archives, I guess, because it was something else. But it was fun to build and a little bit different take on this apartment than what it originally was. But I'm gonna go because I can hear myself rambling, and I hope you're having a great day, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.